Hello, and welcome to the Game Cannon GameCast. I am Sharp.
And I am Gandhi.
He is.
I am.
And this week...
I already am.
What have you been doing? How are you?
I'm okay. I'm tired. It's been a long week, but it's mostly my own fault. I've been playing too much, too many games. Mainly Borderlands 2. Like, literally, as soon as it came out, I was sat there going, play, why aren't you playing? And I also played the demo for Minecraft. And within 5 minutes thought, if I don't close this down now, I will never stop playing it.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, obviously, after last week, we both, I think, said, oh, no, I'm not interested in playing Minecraft. And then it seemed to plant a seed in both of our heads, and we went away and listened and watched videos and stuff, and I just got, like, a crazy bug for it.
It was kind of like, I'm not going to play Minecraft. Really? Do you not want to try it? No, I don't want to play Minecraft. Well, you could have a look at it. Well, I might have a look at it.
So
it just went from there.
So I spent the money and I bought the game.
Yes, you did.
I've been playing that.
How have you found it so far?
It's so good. It's so like there's
lure me in. Don't lure me in.
It's the limitless possibilities that makes it so good. Like it's like I can build whatever I want out of whatever I want with mods.
Well, as I say, I played the demo, and if you've obviously heard of Minecraft, but a lot of people just haven't taken the plunge and had to go. There is a sort of free to play demo you can do on the website.
Yeah.
So check it out, because you literally get dropped with nothing by the sea and some wood and soil and pigs, and that's you. You have to make it from there, and it's very addictive.
Well, I mean, like you get dropped into a random world. You know, when you start an actual game. I don't know if that's the same on the demo, but you should just have a go at it. If you haven't, you should give it a go, because it's so much fun.
If you've got a life to waste, do it with this.
Hey.
I feel really like, I think you accidentally get sucked into all the time-consuming games.
Yeah,
like,
I do.
I've been quite lucky, because mine are just sort of, maybe it's because I'm an FPS player, but I can drop in and drop out. The worst one I've got is Skyrim and obviously Borderlands, but I should complete it at some point. Whereas, like, you can't ever complete WoW or Minecraft.
I play WoW and Minecraft. No.
I know, that's it. You're screwed.
And next Monday is my first day of university.
Oh.
This was badly timed.
This was badly
Also, I have a bone to pick with Blizzard, since MOP's out next Tuesday, and my first day of university is Monday. Thanks, guys.
Should we slip straight into Blizzard then? From that,
you want to segue into news through that?
I want to skip any sort of plan we had for organisation of this Gamecast and just start talking about Blizzard and what they've done to you recently.
Right? Yeah. Well, they have. I mean, it's not.
There's
recently.
A court case going.
It's not recently. I mean, you know, I recently. It's only recently that it's become so apparent to me, but. They announced MOP was out on the 25th, and I was like, oh, that's cool, you know, it's sort of mid-September, it's a good time, it's not around the holidays, so I should have more time to play. And then I got my letter through from university saying, your first induction session is Monday the 24th of September at 2 o'clock, and went, oh, okay, well, maybe I don't have anything the next day. Maybe the next day I'll be fine to be absolutely exhausted, because I've been up playing MOP all night.
Yeah?
No. Introduction to IT and introduction to, like, fellow classmates and icebreakers and stuff. So, if I turn up, like, bleary-eyed, like, I was up all night playing a panda, I'm sorry.
You come in dressed as, like, a Shaolin monk, like, with panda face paint on. Yes, my name is Sharp. I've been playing Mists of Pandaria. That's my icebreaker.
That's my icebreaker. I know some of you are going to scoff because I play Warcraft, but...
Walk in with a staff and just go, I do not have time for these icebreakers.
Yeah, so... I'm probably going to stay up all night and play it, and then just go in a bit bleary-eyed, and just make sure I get some coffee before I go in.
This is again like planting the seed that we're talking about with Minecraft, because obviously I've seen all this coverage about Mists of Pandaria, and I eventually, after literally years of casually, occasionally going on World of Warcraft because there was nothing else that was any good, I've kind of accidentally ended up with a sort of maximum level character, and like, I keep thinking about getting the expansion, and then I keep thinking, but do I really want to? And I definitely don't want to start again
which
I don't want
I'm
to start
doing.
a character again. It took me so long just to get one capped. I know it doesn't take that long, but if you play MMOs like I do, it does. Because I go on to an MMO and then sit for 7 hours waiting on like a rare dragon to spawn.
Yeah. Yeah, you do, don't you? No matter how much...
No, I'm not coming to the dungeons, Chris. Any moment now, this dragon's going to spawn. I'm going to kill it.
But Liam, it doesn't matter. It's just it's a non-combat pet. I'm getting it. I'm getting the whelpling.
Any minute now. There's a 0.01% chance it'll drop.
So
it's as good as mine.
Yeah. So that's that's the big one.
That's
this
the big
week,
one.
Is that Mop's out next week?
Do you think it will live up to the massive sort of hype?
I think this is going to be the best expansion since Burning Crusade.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying.
I will say this, and this is kind of the reason that I've not gone to get it, is that what I like most about it is as silly as it sounds, the panda, but also the environment,
The Chinese
that
sort of
oriental
architecture,
design, yeah. And but that's what I like the most. But then I'd have to start a new character, which I don't think emotionally in me, I don't think I've got
you
it.
could take your mage to Pandaria. That's like the point. The game is moving on.
But could you start from
from 85? You would go into Pandaria, yeah.
At the start of Pandaria, because I figured there'd be
the Pandaria zone's at 86 to 90.
Oh, I see.
And there's only one zone that is for low levels, and that's the Panda starting zone.
So they do the Panda starting zone, and then they slot into the zones that everyone else leveled through at sort of 20. And
exactly.
Oh, okay.
So you do this because the Panda's like the first neutral race. It's the first neutral race. So you pick your Panda, you do your starting area, and then you're presented with the choice: do you want to join the Alliance or do you want to join the Horde? And I assume at the point when you make that decision, you either get on a boat to Stormwind, or you get on a Zeppelin to Orgrimmar.
Right.
I assume those are that's what's going to happen. At which point you join your faction, and then you you level the same way a normal character would, right up to the point when you get to 85, and then you're back to Pandaria.
So what's on your agenda then? Are you going straight into the high level content, or are you? I know that you said you want to make a new character.
I'm re-rolling Pandaren Monk for the expansion. So
you really though, I've got to say I give you about until the evening until you go and do the high level stuff.
No, because I really want this character, and of my current characters that I have, there's none that I really want to play into the expansion. So the only character that I'm going to be leveling straight off is my Shadow Priest, because I play PvP on my Shadow Priest. And my Death Knight is my farming character, like he's a miner and a herbalist, so he's literally just grabs stuff. So he's going to be coming up to 90 as well, just to, gather things. Other than that, I'm not that bothered for playing those characters.
Now it's starting to sound like I should just get a panda and level with you,
You should. But given that I made the big claim it's going to be the best expansion since BC, my reasons are, in no particular order, the cool aesthetics of this new world.
Yep.
The fact that WoW recently went up to DirectX 11 and dual core support, so the graphics are going to be better. They're talking about over the next 6 or 7 months rolling out whole new models for every character race. So they're going to remodel the humans, the orcs, so they're going to look a ton better, which is going to make the game look 10 times better, having new character models. In terms of content, they said there's going to be a new focus on high-end raiding, so there's going to be more raids, there's going to be more 5-mans, there's the new scenarios, there's the timed dungeon runs, where there's leaderboards and stuff. That's so much to do at the max level. And they also, the reason that BC and Lich King were so good is because the whole game moved to a new area, and it was fun because you were in this whole new area that you got to explore that had a theme and a different aesthetic. Like BC was all broken up islands in floating through space, and Northrend was this cold waste, whereas in Cataclysm, okay, the world got destroyed and the whole world got changed, and that was cool, but you were back in the old world that had always been there, and so it was kind of dull because you were back in Orgrimmar and it was just stale. So I'm really looking forward to the whole game just moving to a new area and being all this kind of oriental style and feel, and also
Yeah, I mean, it's my thing is I think that it's a lot of time to hold off seeing all that new content now.
I can do it.
This
I
new
can I
character.
can level to 85.
How fast do you think you'll get to 85? What's your lay down the gauntlet for you? What's your
considering
goal?
that I'm starting uni, and I have my induction week the week it comes out, and then the following week I have my
Don't
first
make
week of
excuses.
tuition.
Don't make excuses.
And because my girlfriend's parents are coming over from the States for 2 weeks during that time, so I'm going to be a little pressed for time.
13 hours
A day.
a day.
No, I'm gonna say a conservative estimate of between 2 and 3 weeks because of real time. Because it would normally take me, I think, about a week, maybe 10 days to get to 85.
Have you made preparations for it? Are there things you can do?
Oh, I've got all the
to
heirloom
speed up
items.
the leveling?
I've got all the heirloom items that are available to me, which
Okay.
give you increased XP, and I have all the materials that I need to power level my professions to.
Oh, so you've already
the
picked your
max.
professions.
I'm going to be an engineer and an alchemist on my monk, and I've got all the materials sat in a bank, waiting just to power him through. And he's got 40k of gold waiting for him, and 4 of the biggest bags that you can get. So he's decked out
ready to
pretty
go.
well.
He's
He's
decked.
ready to go. So he's
Well,
just
it's been
literally
nice
gonna be
knowing you, and I'll see you in a month's time.
Yep, I'm going to disappear. Oh, and also Eurogamer. That's another reason that I'm going to have a day where I can't play.
It's just a week, basically, now, almost.
Yep, next
almost
Sunday.
exact week.
Week tomorrow.
And we've even got a camera sorted, so we're actually, you will
Nice.
see us.
So are we going to be doing a GameCast next Saturday?
Yeah.
Will we have time?
Should we do a night before, like a really bad one?
Yeah.
But just like a 5-minute one from like in London, from
London, England.
somewhere in
from
London.
London, England.
Have you got? We'll do it. Yeah. Why don't we just grab your? Oh, I don't know. We'll work something out. We'll
I'm gonna
spitball
take my
ideas.
laptop, so that's fine. Yeah, we'll get that done. We'll do that.
We'll do your little video from like
Live from
a
London.
famous location. Yeah.
That sounds good. Okay, so we talked about MOP for a long time, so just
Diablo.
moving quickly onto other Blizzard things. We've got Diablo, the patch 1.05 notes are out. I'm just going to really quickly breeze over this. They have said that what they're going to do is introduce something called Monster Power and the Infernal Machine. Those are 2 things coming in the next patch. Monster Power is basically increases health and damage of monsters according to power levels, which I think you can set. And so you get more experience, gold, magic find for each sort of level you increase the power by of the monster.
Yeah.
So you can basically make Inferno harder, I think is the point here.
Wow.
You can make the game
As
harder.
if it wasn't hard enough.
As
then.
if it wasn't, ridiculous enough. Although if you saw that stream of that guy who was the first level 100 Paragon, did you see that?
I've not seen it. No.
He was literally he was a barbarian and he was just whirlwinding through the whole dungeon. Like,
Jeez.
he just never stopped, and it was like, yeah, okay, maybe Inferno is easy once you get the gear.
Yeah, once you're kitted out.
But
then you can't. If you die in it, that's you, isn't it?
that's only in hardcore.
Oh, yeah, but see, if he's not playing hardcore, he's not done that. It's the hardest, like Inferno hardcore, surely.
Yeah, but he's got the first 100 Paragon levels. That's the thing that he's done. I think it's Inferno.
It's a little impressive.
In Infernal, the Infernal Machine that they're introducing is a special challenge for level 60s. The machine is assembled from a series of objects that you find around the world. So I think it's like the staff that lets you go to the Rainbow Unicorn Land thing.
The Rainbow Unicorn.
It's like that, but it opens up like an event where you fight 2 of the bosses from the game at the same time, which have been augmented from their original versions.
Okay.
So like,
So bigger and badder.
Yeah, so you might fight like Gom and the Butcher at the same time. Things like that. So, yeah, I mean, that sounds like fun.
I mean, it's good that they've switched the game up, keeping it competitive, because I guess the problem with a game like Diablo is eventually players are going to play it to the point that it just can't be redone unless you're releasing tweaks.
I mean, the thing is, everyone was like, fuck this game, it's terrible, it's an awful game, I've already got to level 60 and I've done everything there is to do, which they hadn't. They were just, it's just the general forum QQing. And then they've got the 100 Paragon levels introduced, that massive patch that made the game infinitely better, and now another patch already on the way, and this is a non-subscription game.
Yeah.
And this is 2 sets of free content. So, I mean, they're getting money from the real money auction.
I mean, I
house,
guess
but
one argument is, and maybe it's a good argument, that there is with Blizzard an accountability to have quality games, and some companies, we'll let them remain nameless, SOE, don't care if they've got sort of quite a few bad games sitting there.
Yeah, Blizzard. I don't know of a bad game that they've produced.
I think that's maybe why you'd put investment, even if it wasn't still.
Just to keep their catalogue pristine.
Yeah.
They're going to make Diablo 3 into a great game. Diablo 3, I thought when it came out was a great game, but people expected something that it was never going to be. But anyway.
Okay,
away from that
was as brief as we can be.
Big old news from Bioware this week. Ray, then surnames are difficult to pronounce. Ray Muzica, is it?
I know him as Ray or Mozzie.
Ray, yeah. Ray and Greg Zeshuk have jointly announced that they're going to leave Bioware. These are the founding guys, the two doctors that met at medical school and spent the first 10 years while they were at Bioware practicing in emergency rooms. They were doctors still, and they were also making games. I mean, that's like
the classic story, isn't it?
But I mean, that's crazy. That the amount of time that you were just sinking into working. I mean, they love making games. That's why they did it. But that's crazy.
I think when you get to that point, you turn into a working machine. You don't know how to be apart from working.
Well, now they're retiring, so God knows what they're going to do now. But
so what does this spell?
Well, they release a statement which it just says, let's have a look. Both live in the industry, with Muzica set to pursue social investment and mentoring opportunities, and Zeshuk indulging his passion for beer and brewing. So he's just going to get drunk.
He's just going to get drunk. He's just going to the pub.
It says, the decision to leave the video game industry is hard to explain, but essentially I feel similar now to how I felt in the early days of Bioware, over the decade post-medical school, while I was still practicing as an ER physician. Back when I first realised that the world of video games was my next career chapter. 2 wonderful decades working at Bioware and later EA was the result of that decision. It's not often that you can truly say you were able to pursue and achieve your dream job. I know how lucky I am to be able to say that now, in my early 40s. So he's, in his early 40s, and he's done his dream job to the point where he thinks, I've done that as well as I can, and I'm going to get out. Which I think is really cool. It's really nice for them. I don't know, I wonder, to be honest, how much of it is like, let's get out before this hits, like the shit hits the fan, in terms of the Old Republic and Mass Effect 3 being big old flops.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is that I think Mass Effect 3 does get a very hard time because it's a well-polished game that's fun enough to play through. I think it just had so much, demand behind it. I know it's disappointing.
It's a story game, though, isn't it? And for a story to be left like that is unforgivable.
I guess I came at it from... I'm never one who really delves into stories. I'm more... I like the kind of mechanical reactions of a game, and I just thought it was a well-polished, well-put-together game.
Yeah.
But I do understand the grievances with that, and so they have tried to address them, but I just think you can learn the lessons from that. As long as you're making a quality game that in functionality and looks is working very well, then you can you can work on all the rest. I did have my own personal gripes, though, the fact that all those decisions you made through the storyline and all the people you got on board to aid you in the fight, at the end it resulted to no more than a video that was probably the same for everyone anyway, with slightly different audio over it.
It was just a different colour beam as well.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
But yeah, so that's been talked to death anyway, Mass Effect 3, so we don't need to go into that. But they did earlier this week at Bioware announced Dragon Age 3, which Dragon Age 1 was amazing. Dragon Age Origins, I played that on the PC, completed it, and it was just so much fun. Start to finish, it was amazing. Great RPG. However, from what I've heard of Dragon Age 2, it was awful. So I've not actually played that.
I'd never got hooked on them. I played Little Origins and I just did not like it. Did not work for me. I think it's just one of those things that just purely down to taste though, and if you've played some of the others, it just didn't click for me. Yeah.
So that's what's come out by Bioware. Oh, and in that blog post, there was another blog post out from one of their managers who said that basically what we want to do is continue their legacy in Dragon Age and Mass Effect, as well as new IPs. So that is a big hint that we're going to get another Mass Effect game.
Yeah.
Whether
I don't think you could ever not have one, could you?
Whether it's going to feature Shepard, I can't imagine it would, given the end, unless it's a prequel, which would be a cop-out. I hope it's not a prequel. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens with that.
It's very difficult. I always worry about these things when Bungie said they were going to end their sort of Halo franchise, and then of course it was announced that there was going to be a new Halo. I immediately said, that's a bad idea. The only way that that's a good idea is if they've retained the entire team at Microsoft and it just happened to be ending the Bungie name. But it doesn't look like that at all. I've not played it yet, and I think we're going to get a chance to down at Eurogamer. That was announced, wasn't it? So my fingers are crossed because I'm a massive Halo fanboy. I've got a picture up there. But I'm worried. I'm worried it doesn't look like it's ticking the boxes.
Yeah, I agree, but we'll see. We'll have to see
could that happen with Mass Effect? We'll have to wait and find out.
Exactly. There is always a risk when they try and plug these IPs too much.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, linking back into our GameCast last week on the Wii U. That big console announcement. Sony have announced a console this week.
It's the all-new next gen. Oh no, it's not next gen.
Wait a second. I have a picture. Before I say it, it's the PS3.
Which is already out.
It's the PS3. Here it is.
I'm on tenterhooks.
The PS3 Slimmer. The PS3 slightly slimmer.
It's stupid. It is just. I mean, ridiculous. Okay, so I get it. We'll release something and it can retail a bit cheaper just in time for Christmas, so that for people who haven't got one or whatever can get one. But it just smacks of laziness. Just drop your prices. Drop your prices.
It looks crap, and it's interesting.
Yeah.
And it comes in two models.
PS3 Slimmer. It looks crap.
It comes in like two models as well. It's like a 500 gig and like an 8 gig.
Oh,
like the
no,
two
it's a 12 gigabyte flash memory module.
Oh, yeah.
Which is
no
basically
use to anyone.
Yeah, I mean it's basically just for saves.
Yeah. Does that even get the XMB on it? Does it even get the menu on it?
I'm not sure, because and as well, if you play enough games or as big games as you get on the PS3, you're gonna eat that up pretty quick.
Pretty quick, yeah.
And consumers who don't necessarily know, as in you often get sort of parents buying for children or children who have no idea, they'll end up buying these things. It'll probably end up being still like 200 quid, and it'll run out very quickly. So
yeah, that's our verdict on the PS3 Slimmer.
That's our verdict. Get lost.
Rubbish.
Boring.
Go buy a Wii U, because that looks crap. Not saying the PS3's terrible, just Sony's blatant attempt to reinvigorate the PS3 market. And also read that article where they're saying, we've had a lot of interest from Xbox 360 owners in the PS3 Slimmer. Yeah, because
they're going to buy it to prop up their Xbox.
Yeah, you know what I was waiting for? You know the reason I wasn't buying a PS3? It's just a little too fat.
A little too fat and too expensive. I wish it was just, £20 cheaper.
If it was £20 cheaper,
with like half the specs,
then I'd go out and buy one. Wait a minute, what have Sony released?
You know what I love railing on like PlayStation, because I've never been a PlayStation player, but Xbox do the same thing. It's the thing I always ran on about. It's just the milking the cash cow. It's before Christmas. How many times have Xbox sort of reinvented themselves without actually improving the hardware?
But at least the Xbox Slim when they released that, it addressed the problem of the Xbox sounding like a plane engine.
Yeah, that's true.
Like that was something that was nice, and it did have a new design, and it also had built-in Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Instead of like, you know, having to buy the thing for the back. So there were upgrades, whereas this just seems like, yeah, we made it thinner. What? We can make things smaller now.
Worse, not really that much cheaper.
Yeah. Oh well.
Okay, on to the next article. I think we've slammed so enough.
Yeah, that's been slammed into the ground. So no more news from what I can see. So we were just going to move on to...
I want to speak briefly about PlanetSide 2 again on the radar. I'm not going to stop talking about PlanetSide 2 because people need to know about it and they need to check it out. There's loads going on. There's events happening sort of every Friday. We're only in beta at the moment, right? And every Friday night, SOE are doing a cast where you can sort of just join in, take part in mass events, sort of buggy races and all sorts. And this is beta. So, you know, have a look at this. This is what gaming communities are about. But recently we had an update to the beta, which just messed things about a little bit, really. Just to see how everything was working. We've had the warp gates rotated, so the direction on the map on our axis that the factions are coming from are slightly different. So previously, I think NC were in the southeast, and we've now changed. I'm not sure if we're in the northwest or whatever. So, and part of that is when you take together into account different vehicle types and different sort of troop abilities, different factions may find it easier or harder to attack from different corners of the map because of the line of base technologies, because they do have an effect on what you're rolling out. So they just mixing them, how that affects the balance and who's controlling the map most and in what areas. I think actually, interestingly, you've got a picture there, which shows us a data sheet. You know, during this beta, SO have been collecting loads of data and they can analyze it in really interesting ways. And one of the ways that they've been analyzing it is the amount of shots fired on regions of the map.
Oh yeah,
the amount of tank shells fired in certain areas. And this is good because it also lets them look at a map and say, okay, where are the troops actually streaming from? Where's their sort of natural, you know, destiny line? Yeah. And what they choose to do with that information, I don't know. I wouldn't suggest that they'd put in a road there, but they may add extra sort of coverage. You know, if they see snipers on a certain hill, they may give them more natural coverage. But in any case, it's just really interesting because this is an open world with no rules. And from that, they're extrapolating data that says, oh, look at the natural order, look at the natural patterns of how people tend to choose to move.
Like picking out the choke points and stuff, and maybe that'll lead to new map design.
Yeah.
You know, possibly moving things around a little. If it looks like there's one area that gets a ton of attention, you know, maybe changing that
or if there's a problem, if people start complaining about a certain base and saying that, oh, it's ridiculously easy to attack, or it's so-and-so, they can look at the data and say, well, why is this? What can we do to make it a bit more of an interesting battle? Yeah, and I know they're starting to mess about with locations of generators as well, which are, you know, a key element because that's what powers the base, and you know, you can blow it up and engineers can fix it. So the location of it would obviously change how you attack a base. You could go straight in a base and destroy the, you know, the spawns or try to hack it, but also you could drop the generator, you know, so its location is important. Another thing that's come out in this beta update is they've reduced the amount of resources you get while you're just sort of running about the map, running around and getting kills, and they've also increased the costs of various things like vehicles, so the resources you're actually spending. The idea of this was basically that people in beta were saying you can go and you can get vehicles, and basically the resources don't seem to matter. You're getting them all the time anyway, and you're never low on them. And if anything, the only thing you're waiting on is a vehicle timer. So if I spawn a tank and get killed straight away, I can't just go and get another one. I have to wait sort of 5 minutes or whatever. So they've just messed about that, and that's just to hopefully give you the feeling that resources are important. Yeah. Because ultimately they're a huge part of the game. And so that it's not where it's going to end up on release day, but it's just they're getting a gauge on
just shows that they're fine tuning it anyway and keeping it.
Yeah. Same with the warp gate rotations. They're playing around with different elements and seeing how it affects the game. And so coming up, I think also in beta, for those of you following it interested, we've got population bonuses which will be rolling out soon. That basically means if there's sort of 20% NC on, and their population's way down, then you'll get certain bonuses like perhaps faster vehicle spawning or something like that. We don't know what they'll be yet, but we'll find out soon, and that'll be good because that again will affect the factions that are struggling population-wise.
That's
also
great.
Yeah, also the continent Esamir is coming out in 2 weeks, and for those who played the original, that's the sort of winter continent, so there's a lot of excitement about that.
So is the fight going to be now divided among 2 continents then?
When if they're going to link them or just move everyone over to the one, I suspect they might link them because they're going to have to test out that system anyway.
Yeah. Well, that was one of the greatest things about PlanetSide was like fights on multiple continents. So rather than just having that one battlefield, like it was like, okay, we are getting our ass kicked here on Osher or whatever. Let's pull out to Eshemer, and that was like the.
We're only on our access at the moment, so it's very difficult to know exactly how the game's going to look. I was saying this to you that it's all of the sort of sanctuaries, if you will, or warp bubbles of safety are all on this one continent. So it's very difficult to see what the whole sort of universe looks like at the moment.
There's only going to be 3 though, isn't there, total?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
There's going to be 3 continents, from what I've heard.
It's still massive though.
Yeah, it's still huge.
Because if you look at like sort of one pentagon on the map is equivalent to like a Battlefield 3 map, which are huge.
Yeah.
So the whole area is just massive anyway.
It's huge.
But that's a big one coming in the next 2 weeks.
Cool.
Esamir. So keep your ears to the ground.
So
that's all I'd say too.
We're done for news. So let's just talk about what we're going to be doing in the next week or so, and what's coming with the channel.
What's coming up with you? What will you be doing?
Well, with this, with my new loss of life and time to Minecraft, that will be, there'll be a Minecraft show coming up. It could potentially be a daily show. I'm not gonna. I don't want to be held to that, because if I run out of time...
considering your commitments. But you might hope it's one every day.
It might be an episode every day. I might miss a few days. I'm going to endeavour to try and make it sort of daily, or at least sort of 3-4 times a week.
That's excellent. I'm excited because I've not bought it, and I was sort of probing Sharp before the show about, but how do you do this?
Yeah,
because I was playing the demo and I just had a stick and loads of pigs around me.
I mean, I'm a bit of a noob in Minecraft, to be fair, but I'm going to learn, and as time goes on, I'll build more interesting things.
That's a bold statement.
Yep, it is bold.
I've heard rumours of a shack.
Yeah, well, so far there's a shack and a mine. So
what? A mine?
A mine. Yeah. See, already you're interested.
This is not a mine, it's a tomb.
Well, it may end up being that.
The Tolkien quotes will not stop until The Hobbit is released, so expect that.
Yeah, so I'll be playing that, hopefully daily show. And as MOP comes out on Tuesday, I will be regularly updating you on the progress of my monk and on what I'm doing on it and stuff, and just general tactics and, well, not tactics, but like how to play a monk, the play style, how it works.
You know what I want to know? Give us a video of just the basic skills of your class.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about the monk and just how it works, what it does.
Yeah.
And going into MOP, show you the new instances and the new, I'm gonna document a lot of the sort of lifespan of this monk and it getting geared up and all that kind of thing. So I'm probably going to call that show Monkly Business, as I think that's hilarious.
Funny.
So that'll be at least weekly. That'll be coming up. So quite a bit of content coming out.
I'm going to be watching both.
And when I get around to leveling that Shadow Priest, there'll be some more PvP. So plenty of stuff.
Time
and
videos.
Minecraft. So,
excellent.
What are you playing and doing over the next week?
Well, I mean, as I said, I've been playing Borderlands 2, so you've probably seen there's a couple of videos up. I'm going to keep doing some of Borderlands 2 stuff. There's a lot of footage going up. I just want to get a nice format where you guys can see the quest lines and just me messing about in the game. So I'm hoping they'll just be like 10, 15 minute videos in terms of length, and it'll just be me playing through some quests, exploring the world, chatting about the game, generally being a fool. So they'll expect more Borderlands. Yeah, expect more Borderlands 2 stuff coming up. the next installment of the PlanetSide 2 Basics, which will probably be maps and resources, specifically because in this update we've had a little tweak to our resources. That might be up before this Gamecast, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And also I'm going to be looking at doing maybe a little PlanetSide 2 story video. I won't say too much about that.
Very nice.
So yeah, plenty to come. Plenty to come.
Lots of stuff coming from the channel, so the like button is down there. Press that. The subscribe button is up there. So if you hit that as well, these things help us greatly and help us keep the channel going and stuff. So get those done if you like and want to see more.
No, just get them done.
Well, or just do it, because it doesn't hurt you and it helps us a lot. Anyway.
The click of a mouse. Every time you click the mouse, I kiss a balloon.
That was a good impression of kissing a balloon.
It was kissing and the balloon noise.
Yeah,
it was a nice marriage of both.
It was well done. I don't know why people want you to kiss balloons, but
it's a very popular video.
Better than kissing young children.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so.
And on that note,
on that bombshell,
goodbye.
Goodbye.